Hey guys, Mark Marquillo here with AprilAire. Hey, today we're talking about humidifiers. Now, we're giving this presentation from our Poynette, Wisconsin humidifier production facility. The humidifier season's right around the corner, so let's talk a little bit about how to successfully sell humidifiers to our homeowner customers. Now, before we start, a little bit about who we really are at AprilAire.
The Midwest, the heart of America. They say it's the people here that make it what it is. People who turn the wrenches and light the torches. People who keep us safe during the tough times. People that ignite our innovative spirit, and people who break ground to move us all forward. We believe in our people. We believe in our homes. Comfortable and healthy homes for all of us. Homes in New York, California, Florida, and homes all across the heartland. Like right here in Wisconsin. AprilAire is proud to be the trusted solution for a healthy home. Engineered and manufactured in the USA since 1954 by people just like you.
Pretty neat stuff. That was actually filmed right here where we're at. Now, this gentleman's name is Cy, and Cy's working here right in the building. You know, I talk to these folks every day, and they say, hey, you're the guy that's the face of AprilAire, but you need to tell these contractors in America, thank you very much for everything that you do. And just like Cy says, on behalf of all of us back at AprilAire, thank you so much for what you do for us and do for our family. We don't pay lip service to that. You guys, nothing happens here unless you sell a product. So thank you very much. Now, before we begin, I'd like to ask you guys 3 questions before we get into the training. 1, does everybody agree that it gets really dry in a customer's house in the wintertime in the heating season, and that's a problem for homeowners? I think we can all agree there. Secondly, does everyone agree that a whole home humidifier installed on a customer's furnace can solve that problem? I think we're in agreement there. And third, does everyone agree that the customer should at least have a choice to buy a humidifier to fix those problems? If you agree with those 3 statements, I think we can move on. So, I gotta ask you another question. How do you guys sell humidifiers now? I mean, what works best for you? Does your company include one on certain packages? Is the humidifier an option or a line item accessory on some package? Is it just offered when a customer asks? Is it never offered? Or is it sort of a combination of none of the above? So let's talk a little bit about these different strategies. And my last question is this. With a lot of AprilAire humidifiers already out there in the United States, what do you do when a customer has an older AprilAire humidifier already and they get a new system? Do you reuse the old one? Do you upgrade it to a new model, or do you just remove it? Some things to think about. Now, I'll tell you our industry's biggest weakness. 90% of interactions between customers and technicians or salespeople end without the technician or the salesperson ever asking for the sale. Yeah, 90%. Now, Gretzky said it best, you miss 100% of the shots you never take. This next slide explains it all. Listen to these guys. They really, really understand how to help their homeowners get a humidifier.
Be very honest, be very upfront, and offer people things. If you don't offer it, they can't buy it. People who will go into people's homes and they're like, well, nobody else offered me a humidifier, or nobody else offered me this, you know. Well, we're looking at the whole picture. They were looking at selling the box. So we're not trying to sell a box. We're trying to sell a system that you're going to live with and be comfortable with.
This business, this trade, when it comes to HVAC, dude, this is such a great thing to be in, because we get to serve the heck out of people by using things like April provides. You know, the humidifiers, the dehumidifiers, the filtration, and all that indoor air quality. That is what most people don't even know it's out there. We get to show them that this makes their life better, and they love it. If we don't show them, if we don't show these things to to our customers, we're doing them a disservice.
I mean, really, think about it. Those guys really get, I had a customer say to me, she said, Mark, tell the heating and cooling guys to stop making decisions for us. By not informing us and not quoting us on products they don't own or don't think that we're going to buy, they're only hurting both of us. I mean, boom, drop the mic, training done. That really is the point. This was a quote from a lady who had 3 dealers come out on a no heat call, and none of them mentioned the word humidifier except the guy they bought it from. If you think people don't want to buy humidifiers, go to Google. 106 million websites came up in 0.67 seconds recommending on where homeowners should buy a humidifier. You guys, this is all over the place. Why are we not talking about it? Because we're the heating and cooling guy only? Listen to these successful contractors talk about quoting it on every job.
We believe in homes being as clean as possible, being as healthy as possible. We believe in humidifiers, so we sell humidifiers. We try to on every system that we put in. We explain the benefits. We believe a humidifier should be on every single house because of the way houses are built today.
You got to have a humidifier. You know, we have long winters. We're running furnaces. Most people now have a forced air furnace, and to be able to reduce their heating bill by keeping the humidity up in a house, furniture, woodwork, molding, keep it from drying up and cracking. It's something you have to have.
So how do you sell humidifiers? You sell them on every job?
I don't get a choice. You get a humidifier.
Tell me that again.
You don't get a choice. We're putting a furnace in air for you. We're giving you a humidifier.
We'll often include it as a package if we've talked to it with the customer and they like the idea and they want that. Our premium packages are always going to include, we'll include that. Some of the other ones now, what we'll do is we'll just break it out as an optional upgrade for like some of the lower ones. We offer it as a line item, exactly. That way they can see, you know what, I could still put it on here if I want to. But then on the premium packages, we just include it as a package.
So as I travel across the country, I see guys that really are putting them on their bid sheets and their quote sheets, but I see 2 different strategies. If you look at the one on the left from ABC Heating and Air, I mean, basically it's a quote, it's a bid, it's model numbers, it says what it is. I mean, my gosh, what is a AprilAire 600 mean to a homeowner? If you look at the one on the right, that's a solution. Guys, if we start putting things on quote sheets in terminology that homeowners can understand with descriptions, as a homeowner, I can look at all this stuff and go, wow, I get a lot of stuff for $9,675. The one on the left, I get 4 model numbers or 5 model numbers. So a lot of times, it's how we put them on quote or bid sheets. Now, come on guys, we got to do the right thing for our customers. Next to heating and cooling in a home, controlling the humidity is the most important thing that you can give your customer. It's the right thing to do. So what happens if you don't help your customer and they buy a new system? Well, nothing happens to you, but they are now out of the humidifier market for possibly 15 years or more until they have to replace their furnace again. That's just not fair. We need to at least give them the ability to say no. Again, I'm going to go back to Google because I do a lot of research, and this is what homeowners do. If you type in all these words, look at the number of sites that show up in millions of sites. This is what people want. If you type in air conditioner and furnace, well, these are the things people have to buy. And honestly, let's face it, nobody calls up your company and says, oh, Mr. ABC Heating and Cooling, my air conditioner is working really good, but could you send somebody out to sell me a better one? That's not how they do business. This is the difference between what people want to buy and what people have to buy are the difference. Now, let's talk about price. Everybody's worried about price. Oh, if I sell humidifiers, my price is going to be too high. You guys, look at where prices have gone in this country since 1985. I mean, my goodness, Colonel Sanders chicken for a 10-piece bucket is up 290%, and that stuff still tastes horrible. But guys, we don't need any of this stuff on this list except possibly beer. But think about that. But when you look at pricing on HVAC systems and IAQ pricing are up maybe 20%. And you know, if you adjust a ton of air for inflation, it costs little more than it did 20 years ago. Heck, there are guys selling systems for less money this year than they did last year. Hello. Now, here's some great quotes that I heard from comfort advisors as I traveled the country. Look, a customer gets a $9,000 quote. They haven't heard about this for 15 years. And of course they think it's expensive because, you know, it is expensive. But you need to let the customer express that. Don't be afraid of that. I heard one comfort advisor go, expensive compared to what? He let the customer talk. Another guy said, well, let's say money wasn't an object. Would my solution solve your problem? Well, yeah, it would. Stop talking about the equipment. It's already been sold. Another guy just said, well, what's too expensive? You need to let the customer get that off their chest. One guy said, well, we've got great financing if price is the only thing that's keeping you from solving our problem today. One guy said, fair enough, so which part don't you want? This is brilliant. Don't take things off the sale to reduce the price. Let the customer tell you what they want to take off the sale, because I'll face it, they don't want to take anything off the sale. Here's a good one. One guy said, are you saying that my price is high in comparison to my competitors? And the reason he asked that is because he wants to know if they've got a couple of quotes in their back pocket. And the best one I ever heard was a comfort advisor looked a lady right in the face and said, well, in your business, is your product or service the least expensive option available? She said, no, we run a tarring business for driveways. We are the best in the city. He goes, we're the same as you. Think about that. He just turned that back onto the customer. I heard this from a comfort advisor selling a humidifier. He said, please trust me on this humidifier suggestion. I don't suggest things that cost you extra money without really thinking about it, but honestly, what's worse, spending a little more than you planned on today or a little less than you should have today? Boy, that one's an eye-opener. So let's talk about some of the benefits that you can sell to a homeowner when you're selling a humidifier. You can literally warm up the house without using any heat. Did you know that at 70 degrees Fahrenheit, for every 5% you increase or decrease the amount of humidity in a home, you can change the apparent temperature by 1 degree. For every 1 degree you reduce your thermostat, you save approximately 4% on your heating bill. That means that if a customer can raise or lower the RH by 20%, which is simple to do with a humidifier, they can save up to 16% on their heating costs while being more comfortable and healthy. I mean, let's do the math. Say $150 you spend in the winter on a gas bill. Well, you do that by 5 months, that's $750 a heating season. That's happening all over the place. Well, if you can save them 16%, which is about $120 a year, I mean, heck, after 5 winters, the humidifier almost pays for itself. These are all ways that you can sell a humidifier to a homeowner. How about this? What's the driest place on the planet Earth? The relative humidity in Death Valley, California is 22%. The relative humidity in the Sahara Desert is 21%. The relative humidity in a home in Columbus, Ohio on a 20-degree day with their forced air furnace blowing is 14 to 16%. My gosh, it's drier in Columbus than it is in Death Valley. How do you solve that? You solve that with a humidifier. Now, here's something. I got this from the, this is the number of cases of respiratory disease per 1,000 people in the United States. I would take this sheet into a customer's home with my hygrometer and I'd go, hey, this is something interesting. Look at, everybody's getting sick in December, January, February, and March. You know why? Because the RH is so low. Hey, let's take a reading with my hygrometer. It's really that simple. You're using third-party information to point this out to a homeowner. You guys read about this last year and the year before. This is a clip from the internet I got. Worst flu season in history, deadly flu season, bracing for the worst, biggest flu. You guys, all this has to do with dry air in the home. You can eliminate a lot of this for your customers.